Okay, everyone's here. Let's go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Planning Commission meeting. As always, we'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask everyone to rise, face the flag, and repeat after me. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can we have roll call, please?
Chair Baldino,
Here.
Vice Chair Newman,
Yeah, she's here.
Commissioner Keldall,
Here.
Commissioner Hessler,
I'm here.
and Commissioner McGuire is absent.
Okay, thank you. Now's the time for public communications. Anyone wishing to address the commission, something not on the agenda, now would be the time to do so. If you are on Zoom and want to make comment during public communication, can you raise your hand or otherwise let us know? All right, seeing no one and no one in the chambers, we'll go ahead and close public communication. Were there any written communication beyond what we've provided in the packet?
Chairman, no communication has been submitted. Wow, that was a hot mess. No, nothing has been submitted.
All right, thank you, Eduardo. Any commissioners want to pull anything on the consent calendar? We have a couple of meeting minutes and the authorization for Zoom calls and a monument sign. Any discussion or questions on any of that?
None for me.
No? Jay?
Well, I'm glad they're still having Zoom calls. That helps me today.
Okay, nothing's being pulled. I'll take a motion to approve items on the consent calendar.
So moved.
Motion, we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we'll have a roll call vote.
Chair Baldino,
Aye?
Vice Chair Newman,
Aye.
Commissioner Keldall,
Aye.
Commissioner Hessler,
Aye.
and Commissioner McGuire.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Sure.
just wanted to clarify that the latest extension for the teleconferencing per the governor's order will only get us through March. So beginning in April, there won't be an allowance for, at least as for members of the body to participate with the relaxed teleconferencing.
Okay, can we still allow members of the public to participate in Zoom?
That's up to staff. I know often consultants and folks like that can participate, but I think the city's figuring out for meetings what public participation looks like, but that is feasible, yes.
Yeah, because we have consultants appear by Zoom all the time. And I think if we can give that courtesy to a consultant, at least we can do for people who live in town.
Sure.
If anyone, it's easy to appear by Zoom. It's hard to get people to come down. So whatever we can do to maximize public participation would be my preference. So thanks for that. Okay, continued business, there's none. Agenda item H4 is a new public hearing about a 4-unit condominium subdivision. The address is 535 to 541 Indiana Street. And do we have a brief staff report on this?
Yes, Chair, I'm going to go ahead and turn that over to Ms. Baldinegro. Oh, and also Segundo TV, we will have a PowerPoint presentation as well.
What's up? There it is. Okay, perfect. Good evening, Chair and members of the Plan Commission. The item before you is Environmental Assessment 1312, and it's for subdivision case number 2101. This subdivision is to convert 4 existing multifamily residential dwelling units into 4 condominiums at 535 through 541 Indiana Street. Here's the site. It has 52.6 feet of frontage. As you could see by the aerial view, there, the construction was already going on, and what's that? Okay.
Is that you?
So here's some background. In 2015, the Plan Commission approved subdivision for condos. in 2016, an adjustment came in because during plan check, they discovered that the garages did not meet the requirements that we have in the parking code, and the interior clear in dimensions had to be reduced by 6 inches. So they came back and requested an adjustment, and that adjustment was approved. The map in 2017 expired, never got recorded, and so construction was completed in 2018, and now the applicant has come back and requested to have the condos, and we informed him he had to reapply. And he had to file a new application to reapprove the subdivision for condos. So this is the configuration. It has a new number. You could see that it's 2 buildings, and it has access from Indiana. Everything's existing, and we're only going to be changing the air rights. So the main project description is a site that contains 4 existing dwelling units. The project is the conversion of the units into condos, and the municipal code does allow the conversion of existing dwelling units into condos as long as they met the regulations that were in place at the time the permits were issued. And definitely they were given permits, they got final. Staff believes the required findings can be met to approve the project. The project is categorically exempt. It's only a conversion of 4 units, less than 6. And staff's recommendation is the Plan Commission adopt resolution number 2917, approving environmental assessment EA 1319 and subdivision number 2101 for the vesting tentative parcel map, 83543. And we do have the applicant's representative available. That concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you, Maria. And just so we're clear, this has already been reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission. We're just asked to do it again because the time to record it expired, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and the project's already been built, right?
Yes.
Okay, any questions for staff? Okay, thank you very much. Now is the time for public communication. The first right will go to the applicant.
Have I been promoted to speaker?
You are speaking, correct?
Oh, very good. Thank you. Well, thank you, commissioners, for your time this evening and your consideration of this application for the conversion of a multifamily residential development into a 4-unit condominium project. I am Stacy Strauss, and here on behalf of the applicant, 535 Indiana ES LLC, and I would like to thank not only you, but our planner, Maria Baldenegro, for the review and guidance in getting this application before you. In addition, though, for that thorough review and presentation of the project. There's not a significant amount to be added at this point in the presentation. And just in summary, this was a project that was previously reviewed and approved by this body in 2015. But when built, the applicant did not complete the subdivision, and therefore the entitlement did expire. We are here again this year with the resubmittal of that portion of the application and have read the conditions of approval that are recommended, and the applicant is in full agreement with them. I've made specific notes on the items that are required to be included in the CC&Rs and will make necessary arrangements to submit the CC&Rs to the city for review and approval. All other conditions of approval will be are accepted by the applicant, and we seek your approval this evening, and I'm available with any questions you may have.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Any questions for the applicant? No? All right, I think we asked our questions in 2015, but thank you.
Actually, I'm sorry, Ryan, I do have one question.
Sure.
So the units have been for rent up to this point?
That is correct.
And are the same people renting are going to be the owners of the condos, or?
That's not determined yet. So the market will, the units will go on the market, and they will have an opportunity just as any, but they have been noticed. They were noticed of this hearing, noticed that there's an application pending for a subdivision. They have every opportunity to make an offer. It's not even clear that the applicant intends to sell all the units immediately, just would like to have the opportunity to have them eligible for individual sale.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Anyone else on Zoom wishing to address the commission this comment? All right, not seeing anyone and no one in the chambers. We'll go ahead and close public communications. Any comments from the dais on this application?
I do not.
No, I'll go ahead and make a motion
Okay,
to adopt resolution number 2917, conditionally approving environmental assessment number EA 1312, subdivision number SUB 21-01, VTPM 83543.
all right, thank you, Brenda. I will second the motion, and can we have a roll call vote, please?
Chair Baldino,
Aye?
Vice Chair Newman,
Aye.
Commissioner Keldorf,
Aye.
Commissioner Hessler,
Yes.
and Commissioner Magai.
All right, it passes. Thank you, everyone else. Next item, new business none. That brings us to agenda item J, report from the Director of Development Services. What do you have for us, Mr. Allen?
Good evening, Chair. I have nothing to report other than I will not be here for the next Planning Commission meeting later this month, and so I will defer to our planning manager as my designee for the moment to provide any updates for upcoming meetings.
Great, thank you. Yeah, just a couple things for the next Planning Commission meeting. That's going to be more of a housing workshop slash study session that we'll be having. I know that, as you recall, and we take that to heart, the information or the request that was made by the commission to be more involved with a lot of housing information and study sessions. So we're going to bring that forward to you. And we're going to be talking about, density bonus, affordable housing strategy. We'll have our consultant, Many Mansions, available here to kind of go over a strategy and get some input and guidance from the Planning Commission and the public as well. So that is forthcoming. Let's see, a couple other things to report on. Pacific Coast Commons project and the Standard Works project that came before you guys last month and had the recommendation approved. That's on the City Council agenda for this upcoming Tuesday. So if you want to be there and be involved and see the fruits of your labor in action, it is going before them on Tuesday evening. And we are providing them with the recommendation that you all had made, including the recommendation on those conditions for the Pacific Coast Commons project. We're currently doing initiating some outreach programs for a downtown specific plan update that we are embarking upon. So we'll be, having some meetings with some different stakeholders throughout the community. And ultimately, we'll be bringing this back to you as a body later on in a couple months, probably sometime in summer-ish. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, we'll be doing a lot of legwork up front and then presenting that to you all as well sometime this summer. So
Is that going to include what the city plans to do about the outdoor dining? I know there's a lot of discussion about that, and weren't they told like it's going to be 12 months to figure out how to deal with outdoor, even though we've been living with it for 2 years now?
Yeah, that's on a separate track because that is all related to the COVID and the pandemic, and so there are certain intricacies that the city is moving forward with and trying to coordinate with our city attorney's office. Although outdoor dining will still be something that we would bat for the downtown specific plan. What we see out there currently is a result of the pandemic, and that's on a separate track.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Eduardo. Report from City Attorney's Office. Anything, Joaquin?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
All right. Planning Commissioner comments.
A question, that housing study session, will that then go to council after we look at it? And I asked that just because I know they talked about inclusionary housing and maybe had some different commentary than we had previously. So I'm curious if what we see will go to them for comments as well.
Yeah, the idea is that many mansions will be using this strategy and study session combined with the planning commission and sort of open for public forum during that night as well later this month. But to help inform the strategic affordable housing or the affordable housing strategic plan that would then go to council in the summer for their consideration and input. So that it would reflect the feedback provided by the commission, and then we'll go on to city council. Now, I don't think it'll be in a position to be finalized when it goes to council. It'll be another sort of presentation of this is where we've landed based on the feedback that we've received from planning commission and community, and then engage with the council to receive additional feedback and then come back after the summer with a final product. There's no formal, it's a policy document it's not a land use or zoning document, so there's no formal process that requires it to come back before the planning commission, but I don't see why there's a reason not for it to come back to the planning commission, so you see the final product before it goes back to council again for final adoption.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
All right, any comments, Jay?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks, guys.
All right. That brings us to adjournment. Our next meeting is March 24th at 5:30 in council chambers. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night.